When my son was 3, I had a small studio space in an arts building. And it was like an old school transformed into an arts facility. And one day while I was working, my son was hanging out with me and he would like run through the halls, exploring, looking at the paintings and installations. And there was one in the middle that was this bird's nest made of like recycled building materials. And he was just staring at it. And he started asking me questions like, what is this? Why does someone make it? What's it about? Why is it here? And I tried to explain it to him, but I realized that a conversation about why art exists might be beyond a 3-year-old. So I answered his questions quickly and we went about our day. And so a few weeks later, he calls me over and I come over and I see a bunch of swords, sticks, and a lightsaber organized into like a nest. And he looks at me, he's like, "Dad, this is my art." And I was blown away by this. So I asked him, "Why did you make this?" And he looks at me and he says, "Because I felt like it." And then he proceeded to walk away and play something else. And to me, this is beautiful because it's what art is all about. He felt something, expressed himself without restriction, and he moved on. And a kid at 3, someone I didn't think could like get art, totally got art. He gets art in a way I don't think I'll ever be able to, but he got it. And it shows that art is so universal. Art is something that we can learn and be a part of at such a young age. The arts have been an integral part of human existence for millennia, aiding with expression, healing, teaching, and learning.
We talk, but also we do art. And so depending on the age, I see youth, children, and adults. And depending on the age, some children just like to make art. That's their ways of communicating. Youth just want to make art and it settles them and makes them feel more relaxed. And adults, they like to talk about what's coming up for them. And then through that, sometimes we talk about what's going on for them, their mental health issues, their grief, their challenges, trauma, and then we create an image around something they're talking about. And then from there, we use that as a way of talking about what they're going through, and it becomes a metaphor, becomes an image that can help them understand themselves more.
Every time we talk about old memories, nothing feels the way it used to. It's always like we're in some kind of therapy, trying to work around our issues. So let's stay for a minute and ask for forgiveness. Can we lay here and just feel it? Breathing in, breathing out.
My mom was a piano teacher, so growing up there was always a piano, but I don't think I consciously realized exactly what music did until I was 5 or 6. And I remember playing air guitar on hockey sticks, very Canadian thing to do. I remember singing in the car, just like random songs, Backstreet Boys and whatever came on the radio. Even if I didn't know the words, I would always try to catch the melody and sing the melody. That's kind of like the first introduction to music for me as a child. Looking back now, that's like very special to have that as a kid, what music can do even at a very, very young age, or even not being born. You hear stories about playing music when the baby's inside and what that can do for their development is wild. 13, 14 years old, learned how to play the drums, reintroduced myself to the piano, and then picked up the guitar. And that's when I started to write songs, whatever I felt, put down onto paper and tried to figure out a melody for it.
The universe really opened the door for me to be in this space. It wasn't just me either. I started doing comedy and improv when I was 16 years old, but it was with a bunch of my best friends, and we all joined the Loose Moose Theater Company. Most of us were Asian, and they referred to us as the Asian Invasion. But what's so important in this story is that we were welcomed and supported. They took us in, they trained us, they fed us, they removed all the barriers to entry and participation for us, and it changed all of our lives. One study on art therapy found that with just 45 minutes of creative art making reduced the levels of cortisol, stress hormone, in the brain for 75% of adult participants.
I like to dance because it's how I express myself. It's how I get away from the world. It's how I access who I truly am. It makes me put my emotions kind of in perspective and helps me juggle what I'm feeling and not just have to keep that inside. It's really important to me because it's a sort of meditation that I'm able to do.
Whereas music, I was almost going through like a self-therapeutic thing where I'm writing about how I'm feeling. And we all know that when you're feeling a certain way, it's good to get it out, especially onto paper, let alone a song, a whole song that's just like therapy. And that's something that I've stayed with all this time. It's just like, it's an outlet for the way I feel. Feeling and the way that music makes you feel, like you think about dopamine and serotonin. Those are feelings and moods that you get when you listen to music. Like it's insane what a melody and what chords can do. I entered this contest back in 2012 and ended up winning the whole thing and met my record label, and we released a song called Kiss Goodnight. It did wonders for me, and that basically kickstarted my career. And at that point it was like, okay, like I can do this for a living, I guess.
I feel like before it wasn't the most welcoming neighborhood area. Manchester Square definitely brought like a whole new positive nature to it. A lot more people. It's like this weird feeling of safety people get even from like artwork. The more people that come by, the safer that people feel in a sense. So that was like really interesting to hear. We had, I would say, like hundreds of people a day biking and walking past, yelling, you know, we love what you're doing, great job. On the other side of Manchester Square, we have the Lady of Manchester Square. She's still one of my personal favorite murals. And there's like butterflies included in that one. And I've gotten messages from people that are like, you know, I was having a bad day and I was walking by and I looked up and there's a butterfly, and like that's a symbol of my mom that's passed away.
Priority for me is it creates a sense of peace and well-being. The one at Manchester Square, I think, has benefited those tenants who own shops there, because the draw to Manchester Square, bringing people into that complex, it's been outstanding. I've been there many times. There's weddings going on, always in front of her mural. They're taking pictures. Groups of people go there and take their pictures because it's a beautiful, beautiful backdrop.
I'm heading for the blissful lands, to leave behind this world's demands. I leave my loved ones in your hands. I'm heading for the blissful lands, heading for the blissful lands.
The best thing that's super special about Martin Kerr's music is the way that he started his career, putting himself out there and going on the street and performing songs, whether that be for 2, 3 people or just people walking across the street. His music resonates with a lot of people, and he writes a lot about being positive. My favorite song that he has ever written was You're Amazing. Every time he performs it, whether it's for a crowd of 10 people on a driveway or to 2,000 people in a theater, it still always resonates and makes everyone feel so positive. And the lyrics in his songs really just help one another and help us feel good about ourselves. And so I feel like with that, he has just made everything so amazing.
I was always singing. My sister would tell me that I was rubbish and that I should shut up, but I got a lot of encouragement from other people and some wonderful teachers that gave me opportunities to perform and study. And there was a cool thing at my school where there was free music lessons available. And if you signed up for a music lesson, your music teacher once a week would come and pull you out of class to go and do your music lesson. So you got to skip maths or English or whatever it was they were doing at the time. So I was highly incentivized to do lots of music. And I think I tried about 6 or 7 different instruments growing up. But singing was always my first love. I was always singing, and my friends at school and sometimes the teachers as well would have to tell me to be quiet. But I had lots of opportunities to perform in plays and musical theatre. Grew up in a very small town, but there was quite a rich cultural life, and I think that was a big part of my joy growing up.
I feel like songwriters can really express things that other people can't, and every person has their own connection to the lyrics that no one else can ever speak on. It's personal. It gets personal.
There's something very deeply powerful about music, I think, that helps people connect with their spirit and something eternal, helps them to feel not alone. I got an email out of the blue when I was on tour around small town Alberta. I had a gig in the town of Olds. I got an email from this guy saying, my auntie is a big fan and she was going to come to your show tonight, but she's too sick. She's in palliative care in the hospital. And I wondered if you could go surprise her and sing to her in person if you have time while you're in town. And actually I did have time, so I was able to stop by for half an hour and meet this lovely lady. And we had the most beautiful conversation. And actually she was encouraging me and comforting me, asking me all about my life. And we had a lovely chat and we sang together, and there was so much joy on her face, even though she knew that she was in the last few weeks of her life. She was really soaking in every second and every breath of what that life had to offer. And that was a really powerful lesson for me in appreciating what I have, which includes taking opportunities to connect with other people and use whatever gifts I have to make their lives better.
I think what I enjoy the most is the lyrics are like more conscious, they're positive lyrics, they're healing, like they're words that speak to my soul. Blissful Lands, I recently lost my dad, and so that's been a really powerful song because it's about those who have passed on the other side. And then the other one is You're Amazing. Just it's fun to sing with everybody and to connect with people with that song. I've actually used it in my dance, sing with people as well, with crowds and having them sing to each other. You're amazing, right? So it's uplifting. That's what I like, is it connects people.
I have had a multitude of injuries through my career and life in dance. I've torn ligaments in my foot, in my ankle. I've sprained ankles. I've had a high ankle sprain, which takes a long time to heal. I've had my ribs go out. I've torn my intercostal muscles between my ribs. Like, oh my goodness, I'm out. I feel really defeated when I'm injured.
The music industry is forever changing, is always changing. You always have to adapt to it. And when I first entered the music industry 10 years ago, it's definitely not what it was, not like it is today. So just trying to navigate that, it's been extremely difficult. And as an artist too, you can get coerced into so many different things and get involved with the wrong people. And so you really have to take your time and be careful and surround yourself with trustworthy people and people that mean well.
I loved art myself. I loved making art. It was a place where I can express myself. And I really want to bring that joy in myself and with others. It's kind of a place that I could be myself when I was younger. And as a Chinese immigrant, mental health was not something we talked about. It was not something that really was encouraged by my family, but it was kind of a path I forged myself because it gave me a lot of joy and I saw there was so much possibility. It was different than mainstream psychotherapy and therapy. It spoke to so many aspects that aren't being addressed in mainstream. And now they're just starting to understand more about neurobiology and the understanding of how we regulate. And art therapy, the reason why people do art is that it provides people self-regulation, it's soothing, it integrates the mind, the left side and the right side of the brain. Similar to dance and theater, it also creates collective wellness and well-being. So there's so many things that the arts give, and that's healing in itself.
Over here, we have these orange little flowers that I painted. However, with this abstract style, everyone's mind interprets it differently. I've had little kids come up and they're like, we see penguin feet or we see carrot tops. And I absolutely love this. That sparks like that imagination and the little sparks of joy that comes.
Despite increasing evidence published in top peer-reviewed journals on the measurable benefits of the arts in education, such as increased academic performance and the development of innovative thinking, the arts continue to be marginalized in education.
I feel like it's no secret that when there's budget cuts, the arts are the first thing to go, which is unfortunate because whether people realize it or not, the arts programs, especially specific to music, works a different part of your brain, unlike anything else. It's basically just like you're working, when you do math, you work a different part of your brain. When you do science, you're working a different part of your brain.
I really hope that music and arts and creativity become part of the fabric of society in a bigger way than ever before. When I was growing up in England, it was actually a big part of my life. We sang together every morning in assembly. My son just had the experience of being in his first professional theatre production. And it doesn't have to be professional, but when you go through something, an intense creative experience with a group of people, you have a very special and strong bond with those people. There's a sense of community and family that you can't really get through anything else. And I don't want other kids to be deprived of that, because it seems with every year and election cycle and budget announcement that goes by, we're cutting these non-essential things in favor of more concrete, measurable goals. And the creative arts, I think, may not be that measurable, but they are essential to a life well lived, and they're essential to human happiness, both as individuals and as a community. If we're not exploring our creative potential, if we're not getting in touch with our deepest emotions and hopes and aspirations through the arts, then we become quite stunted, I think, as people, and we fail to connect with each other and collaborate with each other in ways that can solve the really important problems of our world. The arts are a way of us processing our feelings and our hopes and dreams and our fears and insecurities. And if we're doing that through the arts, then we can apply those skills and those connections to other things as well. I really hope to see the arts put back in their rightful place as a really core part of what it means to be human, especially for children, because if children are raised with that creative support and opportunity, then they'll carry it through the rest of their lives. Society's lacking that in so many ways right now, that emotional competence, that collaborative competence, and a sense of joy and fun and improvisation as well, being able to meet challenges with a sense of possibility rather than fear.
Out of the Asian invasion group, every single one of us is now working in the creative industry. Some are, comedians, actors, content creators, marketing managers, copywriters, public speakers. And we talk about representation and diversity, but it's like hard to quantify how that change happens. But for me, the change was the outcome of access and reduction of barriers. I'm now doing what I love to do, because an institution removed the barriers and welcomed my friends and I into their building. I think about the trajectory of that group of friends being very different if we didn't have the opportunity to pursue our passion, the opportunity to discover who we really were, the opportunity to become the best version of ourselves. Today, the skills, values, and behaviors promoted by arts education are more paramount than ever. These competencies, creativity, collaboration, and imaginative problem solving, develop resiliency, nurture appreciation of cultural diversity and freedom of expressions, and cultivate innovation and critical thinking skills.
Fog in the mirror, a ghost of yourself. You lost your voice when you asked for help. You wanna run with nowhere to go. Guess I should do better at letting you know. Don't waste time on your demons. Find that space you can breathe in. Not too long till it's over. Rest your head on my shoulder. When we're broken and blinded, we all need someone to guide us home, home. You don't see what I see. about everyone else. You're just a stranger inside of yourself. All of the silence weighing you down. I'll be the voice, I'll scream and I'll shout. Don't waste time on your demons. Find that space you can breathe in. Not too long till it's over. Rest your head on my shoulder. When we're broken and blinded, we all need someone to guide us home. You don't see what I see. Beautiful in front of me. You can hide in the dark with the lights you keep. You don't see what I see. I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. Yeah, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. You don't see what I see. Beautiful in front of me. You can hide in the dark with the lights you keep. You don't see what I see. I see you, 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 I see you. I was staring